there is nothing that we could do that would be more blessed for society, that would help everyone, than to actually give them what they need and a little bit of what they want. Now, people just can't stand the idea of that. Their spite in them just instantly rages. It's this line I love from Count of Monte Cristo, where he's like, you have to suffer like I suffered. Why do we deprive doctors of sleep and then make them go operate on patients? Because the last guy did it, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be the last guy that had to get hazed. The next guy gets hazed too. Eventually, some parent stops puking their defects into the heads of their children, and the cycle does break. It takes a lot of generations. It takes a lot of time for people to stop repeating the mistakes of their past. It doesn't really matter, though, because we do have all this good tech. I really think about this a lot. You know, what is the curve of technology? As far as I can tell, it had to be fire, right? It had to be fire. And that's what people say, like fire in the wheel. Well, what are those? Like labor-saving devices, obviously, but there's something incredible about that. So first of all, oxygen is a biosignature. It actually probably can be made a lot organically, but generally life on Earth created, oxygenated our atmosphere. In the earliest days, I think the eukaryote period or whatever, you know, you go back a couple of billion years ago, 3 billion years ago, and everything was like just a chemical in the ocean. Like it wasn't really alive. It was actually totally alive, but this is Precambrian explosion. This is pre-developing, you know, like limbs and eyeballs and digestive tracts. This is before we were a hollow tube that wants to pass other hollow tubes through it. In those days, the atmosphere, I think, was just nitrogen or something, CO2 maybe, but it wasn't oxygen. And so basically these algae in the ocean just like slowly over billions of years took in, I guess, CO2 and released oxygen, which was actually very good because it's so reactive and it's so chemically, you could do a lot of good work with oxygen. But we used it specifically to create fire, which is crazy. That's so recursive. Like, how could man exist without fire? Well, you need life to create fire. I don't know. It just seems like the dependency is circular dependency there. But like, then you want to explain how the eyeball got started or whatever, you know, like tell me how DNA works, you know, like how do you fold a protein in a shape that actually is beneficial? Like there are supreme mysteries out there. And how man solved fire probably isn't one of them. I think we just like, you know, figured out it was useful along the way and then figured out how to make it. But as soon as we got good at making it, you know, who knows, maybe they were dancing around the fire. Maybe that got people really in touch emotionally. And maybe like when they started to make sounds with their tongue in their mouth, that the people could understand them. And they didn't know exactly what they meant, but it evoked a similar emotion or a similar feeling. And then, boom, you get two monkeys, rock. Now we have a word for rock. And then now you have fire and language. Well, you're going to get agriculture soon. And then you get pants and the internet and the whole thing's done. So, like, we've been working on this problem for billions of years. Not really. Humans, I think, have been dedicatedly working on the problem probably since around the start of religion, which is a long time. That's a long time. And so, because we want to know what the truth of reality is. That's fundamentally what humans are concerned with. They want to understand what is the nature of reality. Science and religion have the same exact question. They have different approaches, not even really, just, you know, one came from the other. Religion birthed science in that way. I think. I agree. That's not my idea, but I agree with it. So now we have all of this technology benefiting us, but it's great because we also have these great demands. And so our energy demands with AI and with cryptocurrencies are going to skyrocket. That says nothing to do with population. We're going to eventually, once we get our shit together, we're going to be growing as many people as we possibly can. because there's plenty of space. There's so much space. It's all we have is space. It's all we have in the universe. We got space. Yeah, we got space. And resources. Yeah, we have space and resources on Earth, not to mention elsewhere, for a lot more people. And so we're going to grow them and get as many as we can, max out that head count. That's going to give us another tailwind, which like each unit you get is like multiplicative. And so we're going to stack up as many humans as we can with all the best tech, and they're going to be endowed with all this, like education and AI and all these things. And then we can start to get crazy.